Okay, we got some hurricane stuff coming up. Let's take a look at all that. Hurricane Ian becomes a major Category 3 storm, Cat 3, as it makes its way to Florida because, and I've said this many times and I will repeat it, God hates Florida, okay? He has made it very clear. He said, do not live in Florida. I hate you. And as someone who has lived in Florida, I'll tell you, it's pretty obvious if you live there. You're like, what the fuck's going on here? It's just the vibes are fucking weird in Florida across the board. Very weird vibes. God just wetting America's dick.
We're going to begin with the Hurricane Ian. I know you've heard all about it. It strengthened overnight to a Category 3 storm as it barrels towards Florida. And barrels is a word. You can see it in this video, how people are already fleeing the state on packed highways. They're just trying to get away from the danger. And here's why. Take a look at the huge size of the storm as seen from the International Space Station. That is huge. The hurricane is expected to strengthen to a Category 4 before making landfall as soon as tomorrow, possibly in Tampa, which hasn't seen a storm this size in more than a century. Omar Villafranca is in Clearwater, Florida, which could take a direct hit. Omar, good morning to you. I heard officials there this morning saying, everybody, take this seriously, get out.
And people are doing that. Good morning, Gail. People here on the west coast of Florida are buckling up. The port of Tampa is closed to incoming traffic. Tampa's airport will...
I will never forget that piece of shit Rush Limbaugh famously said that hurricanes were fake and people were being alarmist specifically to like raise the alarm bells about climate change and that people should not actually leave the state, only to be caught leaving the fucking state. Rest in piss, Rush Limbaugh, you fucking gigantic piece of shit. Yeah. That was a fun, I mean, the most Florida man of all time.
Will shut down later on this afternoon. Evacuation orders are in place for hundreds of thousands of people on Florida's west coast as officials say that Ian will affect the entire state.
Hurricane Ian has landed in western Cuba, but its outer bands have already lashed the island with heavy winds and rain yesterday. In the coastal municipality of Batabano, crews with the Red Cross and the mayor worked to evacuate at-risk residents to higher ground. We're going house to house, she said, taking out the elderly and children. In Florida, some people are boarding up their businesses and homes ahead of Ian's arrival. The demand for plywood emptied shelves in some places.
We just want to make sure we get at least some coverage since we weren't expecting it to come right at us, and now it looks like it is.
We will see on the Gulf Coast of Florida heavy rain, strong winds, flash flooding, storm surge.
As Governor Ron DeSantis warned that all Floridians could be affected by Ian, the rush to stock up on other coveted goods, like non-perishable food and bottled water, created massive lines at grocery stores. Some gas stations were depleted of fuel. In Tampa, people waited for hours in their cars to pick up sandbags. And here in Clearwater, we met Gabriel Alley as he loaded up with sandbags of his own.
People are helping each other out. Hey, you need bags. Hey, let me give you a hand. It's been kind of bringing people together, actually.
Would you rescue Charlie if he can 1v1 you in multiverses? I'll rescue Charlie regardless. Take it seriously and get up, but meanwhile, Ian, you're a pussy. I mean, that's just Florida behavior, dude. What do you mean? That's just Florida activity. Yeah, Tfue is a Florida man. He is the most Florida man of all time. He's undefeated in being the most Florida. He jumps off of bridges and shit, man, for fun. The fuck do you mean? That's just like, when you do stuff like that, you're like, you know, that's like introductory level Florida man activity. I'm probably bad for this, but when I see that you're getting raided, it makes me feel that it feels cozy here in California. For the record, like, there are a lot of people that don't deserve to get fucking, you know, destroyed by this thing. You know what I mean? Even people who don't believe in climate change don't deserve to be fucking owned by the massive amount of damage that they're going to take on. Here's Real Florida man doing Florida man things. This has got to be an old video. You're going to see a lot of old videos and shit. I know there are some crazy storm chasing streams, and we are going to watch them. Storm chasing is a classic on this.
Some hospitals in the area are closing and transferring their patients to safety. Even NASA's not going to take any chances. They moved the Artemis rocket indoors. We should start seeing some first signs of Ian here in the next 24 hours. Nate?
All right. So shit's popping off. Let's take a look at one of our favorite hurricane chasers, Jeff Pietrowski. Emmy award-winning storm chaser over 40 years, 4K extreme weather stock, Tesla Cybertruck, sales radar and weather displays, and a TEDx speaker.
From Southwest.
One of my favorite guys. A lot of wonderful characters in the storm chasing community. I'm a big fan of some of these boys. We got Reed Trimmer. We got Jeff. We will be paying attention to what's going on out there. From those boyos. All right, let's take a look at what's happening.
Florida, this is a quick hurricane update. Watch Hurricane Ian coming off the Cuban coast, heading northeast. Look like it's going to Cat 4. The eye wall is shrinking. It looks extremely strong. Damaging hurricane is rapidly developing, coming northeast toward the Florida coast. We're watching it. We're up here in Southwest Florida waiting for it. I'm here with Jeff Gammons is with me this afternoon. Jeff, what do you think about the hurricane and its current position and track?
We're going to have to keep an eye on how much it kind of wobbles a little bit more to the right of track, if it does, through the remainder of the day and overnight. So right now, we're going to be locking down, I would say probably in the next few hours where we're going to be.
Does this guy have a degree or just a death wish? Yes.
That's right. So me and Jeff's here, and we're going to be looking at this, tracking it. We'll give you another update a little bit later, but this is a large, catastrophic hurricane hitting for the western, southwestern coast of Florida sometime early tomorrow morning. We'll bring you more updates as they warrant. From Southwest Florida.
Damn, this dude is old as fuck. Brother, he was there when the first hurricane happened, okay? How dare you? How dare you disrespect this man? Also, I don't know if he still does this, but he usually does this in a fucking Prius, okay? Which is insane. Like, half of these dudes will like turn around and like make their own vehicles. Jeff used to do it. Jeff does it in a Prius. He's done it in a Prius. Reed used to do it in a fucking Subaru. These guys are vets. Like, we've been following these motherfuckers for a while now. You want a car with low clearance so it doesn't flip, right? Yeah, Reed has made like insane ISIS style vehicles. You know how like you see those like ISIS cars where they like put fucking shields and shit on a pickup truck to make it like impenetrable? That's like Reed has like a similar thing. What, you guys have never seen like the ISIS custom made kits? Like they'll like kit up a Toyota Hilux out the wazoo, you know what I mean? And my neighbor needs a lifted Ford F-350 to get groceries. This is what Reed is using this time around. Yeah, he just has like a regular... Dude, look at all the hail. Look at all the hail damage, dude.
Yeah! How are you? Doctor, how are you? Good. All right, welcome to Florida. Look at that. Woo! Woo!
He's in a fucking Subi! The Dominator!
Which flex tape product is this? This is adhesive remover? This is MagnaSeal. No, this is something good. Excellent. There he is. Welcome.
I love these guys, man. Doesn't he have a car payment? What? Hey, Hasan, I just got a green card. Have no idea which state to move. I'm planning on going to the West Coast. Where should I definitely not move? I mean, California's pretty good if you have money. Ever see the Discovery Channel storm chasing show with Reed and the guy trying to get inside the tornado with an IMAX cam that built a tank? Yes. Listen, I'll tell you where not to move. Florida.
It's probably one of the most interesting things you'll see driving down a highway, and it has one sole purpose: to intercept tornadoes.
Like, I don't think the Dominator, this was too much. Like, they don't need to do this. So that's the reason why he just uses like a regular Subaru now.
This is the Dominator 3. The Dominator 3 is a storm-chasing vehicle that's based on a Ford Super Duty pickup truck. It's used by several chasers, including AccuWeather's own extreme meteorologist Reed Timmer. Designed to handle EF5 tornadoes packing 200-mile-an-hour wind speeds, the Dominator 3 is literally used to intercept tornadoes. To
be fair, that is a tornado, not for like regular shit. But
exterior armor plated. Atop it, several instruments used to aid.
What is this? He's got rockets on it? What the fuck? I didn't even see this. What the fuck is this?
In the chase and gather more data, including these rockets, which will carry multiple sensors into the sky. The interior also decked out. Reed Timmer explains some of the functionality of the cockpit.
And this is the cockpit of the Dominator 3, and here you can see the real-time display of wind speed and direction from the roof-mounted anemometer. So as we get close to the tornadoes or even inside severe weather.
Trump was right again. Trump vindicated. He was right. You can and should nuke a tornado. He was right all along, and we did not have the mental fortitude or the decency to understand. My dad was a meteorologist in the Air Force, and we used to go storm chasing as a family in a Ford Aerostar. It's crazy.
We can report how strong those winds are.
For AccuWeather, I'm Lincoln Riddle.
The sulfur.
5 of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Okay, I love that. We'll look at that in a second. Bro has the car from Twisted Meadow. Top Gear dropped the Hilux off a building and it still started. Yeah, I know. That's an old Hasan classic too. Jeff had a clip around going to mobile elderly homes in south of Tampa and found out that 75% of them were still there and nobody had evacuated them. I mean, yeah. I think like during COVID, we kind of showed how we feel about old people, like across the board as a country, as a nation. You know what I mean? Like we pretty much were like, yeah, you're on your own. If you die, you die. You know, YOLO, fuck it. Figure it out.